sure.
Do you, as a Grizz fan, do you think that the Warriors Grizzly, whatever you want to call it, do you really think that there's a rivalry between those teams? Would you consider it one?
The Warriors will say no because, we haven't taken them out of the playoffs yet. But I will say last year, the Grizzlies gave them their hardest series of the playoffs. I think that's pretty undeniable. And if you think about it, a couple years ago, we actually knocked them out of the play-in. So like we have eliminated them before, even though it wasn't like actually in the playoffs. So that's my hot
Right.
take is we actually have like removed them from the league at some point a couple years ago, like even though it was just in the play-in. And so I think we've had some back and forths. I mean, we're Christmas Day matchups now, so like I think we're at that point, and you could just listen to the post game press conferences between Clay. Like clearly, Clay like does not like us. Don't really blame him a whole lot, and clearly the Grizzlies aren't big fans of the Warriors. I think it's all in good fun at the end with Ja and Draymond like going back and forth on Twitter.
Yeah.
But with all that's happened, I think you have to call it a rivalry. There's not a whole lot of like
Oh
deep
yeah.
rivalries within the NBA. So like I think this one's right here in front of us, and there's no point ignoring it and pretending like it's not an actual thing.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like on the court, like they all hate each other on the court. At least you know what I mean.
Right.
So I definitely, I'm definitely of the mindset that it's a rivalry in the NBA. Rivalries just aren't what they used to be. Like
hmm
where players just were literally ready to fight each other all the time. But
Oh yeah,
uh,
it's not like Jordan driving in and getting trampled by three guys and putting in chokeholds. Like it's not as intense as that
yeah,
anymore. But or
yeah,
like the Reggie
it,
Miller against the Knicks, like we need to bring that back. That's like why I love like the Trae Young stuff with the Knicks, where he just embraced the villain role.
mhm.
Like I think NBA needs more of that, and that is why I completely support the Grizzlies just talking as much trash as possible. Like we can let 29 teams be the rival of the Grizzlies. We just need some more excitement and some more drama. So I fully support it.
Well, hey, first thing is that I don't think rivalries will ever get how they used to be just because players make too much damn money nowadays. So, so that's way over their head as far as like these rivalries getting too intense because they're not going to lose. They're not going to take these big fines that they're getting these days. Then the second piece, I think it's funny if you look back over the past couple years the Grizz really started out as being like one of those teams that everybody loved. Everybody loves Ja high flying, and they just love how that team plays, right? And that's why like you've seen like over the past couple years, like they keep getting more nationally scheduled games.
hmm
To me, I think like this year for the Grizzlies has been a really funny one because now it's like they've almost turned into like the villain of the NBA.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's basically, and like a lot of that goes on like guys like Dylan Brooks too. Like Dylan Brooks is a complete menace, and Grizzlies fans are pretty much split 50-50 on like what they want the overall outcome of Dylan Brooks to be in Memphis, whether he stays or goes. But like ultimately, he is the identity of the team, and that's basically spread throughout the league now. And Ja does a lot of his talking, Jer and Bane, they all talk a lot. And if you ever sit like closer to the court, you just realize just how much they talk. I got to hear a little bit of that in Phoenix as well, but yeah, they all talk a lot of trash, and that's just the new generation that we're in. And some old heads aren't used to seeing that, so they get a little offended by it. And it's one of those things where like I like it, but I also think as Grizzlies fans, we can't be upset when like Warriors fans and other fans like make fun of us when we lose, when we go on a 5-game losing streak. Like you can't be upset because when you talk all that talk, you can ride the highs, but you also have to
Right.
be ready when it comes on the other end. And that's the one thing I think Grizzlies fans and Grizzlies players for that matter too could do a better job of is like accept that if you put yourself out there that much, when things go the other way,
Right.
you're going to feel the heat too. And that's part of it as well.
It, I've seen a lot of, just getting on Twitter and the Grizzlies Twitter specifically. There's a lot of people that cry about about getting that smoke back in return, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I,
Grizzlies
I,
fans
I
are sensitive, man.
and I think that adds to it a little bit of why like other fan bases are like, oh man, come on, you can't throw this stuff out there, and then all of a sudden
Exactly.
when you getting that heat back,
Yeah, it's
uh,
like Josh saying, I'm fine with the West, and then we go on and have like a losing record against the West over the next 10-15 games. Like we had the big streak in the middle, but we basically lost our whole 5-game Western road trip. Like during the week that I was out of town, we lost every single game. And so,
right.
yeah, people are going to make fun of you when you say you're fine with the West, and then you lose all 5 games against the West, shortly after that. So it is what it is. But then it's also going to be fun when Josh says some crazy stuff and then backs it up. Like it goes both ways. You just have to be ready for either side of it.